You mind?
Well, that was a waste of time.
Persevere. Keep at it.
Man must be on holiday. Either that or he's topped himself.
That's a good way out of it. Maybe they should all top themselves.
Michael. Sit down.
What's happened?
Your request for transfer to the fraud squad has been turned down. I'm sorry, Michael.
Why? I mean...
Well, you made all the right noises, said all the right things by all accounts.
Then why?
You want me to tell you?
Please. Because this is ridiculous.
When a certain chief superintendent is sitting on a selection board wearing a Burton suit, and his subordinate is standing there in a Giorgio Armani number, flashing a moody Cartier timepiece, he starts to think. I mean, if I didn't know you, I'd start to get the wrong messages. You know what I mean?
I'm not a bent copper. You know that.
It's not what the man knows, it's what he thinks. I mean, he's not interested in how many commendations you've got. Doesn't give a damn about all the good work you've done.
I think I'll jack it in.
Don't be stupid. This is your first time. You've got a great future ahead of you. Do you want some advice?
Advice I could do without.
Well, you're going to get it anyhow. At home, I've got an old grey suit. Stinks of mothballs. I hate it. Everybody hates it. My old mum tried to give it away to Oxfam twice. Now, I keep that suit. And do you know what for? Purely for selection boards and funerals. Nothing else. That suit makes a statement about me.
But you have no taste?
You know what I mean.
If that's how their little minds work, they can stick their fraud squad.
Sit down, Michael. Now do yourself a favour. If you want to transfer that bad, sit for promotion. Follow the system. Show them what you're made of, for God's sake.
They come from all over the place. Nothing's safe. Nobody wants to work anymore these days. That's the trouble.
Look, Mr. Raglan, I'm talking about kids, 8, 9 years old.
All they want to do is rob and steal
Are
from
you
you.
listening to what I'm saying?
They make my life hell. If they're not shoving things through my letterbox, they're setting fire to the dustbins.
Yeah, all right, forget it.
3 times I had to call the brigade out last week.
Okay, thank you for your help.
I ought to get danger money living here. Bloody place.
If you cop a job like this one, Dashes, the fraud squad's the last place you'd want to transfer to. Oh, yeah. Believe me, this one would certainly have turned you on.
Oh, leave it out, will you, Ted? I'm not in the mood.
Harry!
Frank,
Oh, yeah.
friend of yours?
What's that bastard doing here?
Renewing old acquaintances.
He's not renewing mine, that's for sure.
Why is it that retired coppers always go in for the security? I mean, you'd think after 25 years they'd have had enough.
There's security in security, Frank.
Mayfair. Very impressive.
I want to attract the right clientele.
And what can I do to help?
I see you've still got Roach on your staff.
What would I do without him?
I'd like some assistance, Frank.
What kind of assistance?
I've got a client. He's in communications. Part of a big international group. Now, he's been losing stock over a period of 3 months, and I've identified 2 of the suspects.
T, how you fixed? Oh, come on, don't tell me that lot's going to take you all day.
And tomorrow. And next week as well.
Well, in that case, you can take some time off. I've got a job for you.
No way.
Ted.
Get stuffed.
My office. Don't you ever speak to me like that again.
I object to that man's presence in the nick.
I don't give a monkey's what you object to. Harry Hopwood is well respected in and out of the force. A reputation that will outlast yours. Unless, of course, you know something different.
What's with you and Ted Roach?
You noticed?
Notice? I couldn't miss it.
When I was commander of the murder squad, Roach was seconded into my team. He felt he knew more than my investigating officers. The job is full of people who think they've been hard done by, and Roach is no exception. Hope this isn't going to take too long.
Now, you listen to me, Ted. Either you do as I tell you, or I'll have you.
Oh, yeah.
Try me.
We, might do business together. I've helped quite a few young officers who've become disenchanted with the job.
What makes you think I've become disenchanted?
So, what time would you like Sergeant Roach to accompany you in the morning?
It's grass. I mean grass, not grass.
Cuttings?
Freshly mown.
Washing powder?
Flour. Well, it was when I used to bake cakes.
You're right. And you thought they were playing shops?
I couldn't believe it. Kids of that age. And whatever happened to Ring a Roses? You have a look at this. Crack, 25p. Coke, 30p. Smack, I mean, there's a great list of it here. Even a VAT man wouldn't expect bookkeeping as immaculate as this. My mum used to think the Rolling Stones were a threat.
Dates? Places? It's just like a...
Exactly like a genuine drug-dealing operation.
Values have changed, haven't they? 55p, crack.
Yeah, well, maybe that's all the kids on the block can afford. Perhaps muggings on the estate have taken a nosedive this week.
No names, addresses.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean by it being genuine. You see, the rest of the book is full of the normal sort of drawings that kids do.
Hey, Ted, you can't dump this on me.
It's just a couple of inquiries while I'm off it.
Oh, come on, I don't know anything about this job.
You said you wanted to be a candidate for the fraud squad? Now's your chance. If anybody wants me, I'm down the pub.
We're very busy, Miss Ackland. You couldn't have picked a worse time. There's 3 staff off with
I
flu
won't
and
take up much of your time, Miss Sparks. I just want to establish who the lunchbox belongs to.
Can't you come back after school? It would suit better.
Well, not for me, I'm afraid. I'll be off duty then.
All right for some.
Look, if you could simply tell me which children were absent from school this morning, that would at least narrow down the field a little.
You'll have to wait. I need to ask.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he was quite famous, wasn't he?
You could say that, yeah.
Hey! How many portions of shepherd's pie did we have left over from yesterday?
6, and there's 2 quiche.
Sorry about that, Ted. Yeah. Solved a lot of big murder cases. Always had his name in the papers.
There are 2 kinds of copper I detest, Joe. There are those who spend all their time studying to pass exams, and those who keep you under the thumb because it suits their careers.
And this bloke Hopwood?
The worst kind. Guilty of both.
Where is he, Michael? Get him back here. Now.
You know, I've seen him come and I've seen him go. But without a doubt, you are the most bitter and twisted old Bill I've ever come across. I've got to be straight with you, Ted.
Takes practice, and I've had plenty.
Right? Yes. Hang on. It's for you. So, what can I do for you, sir?
Yeah.
Ted, are you there?
What do you want?
Burnside wants you back here now, Ted. This is serious. Come on, Ted, stop.
I've taken advice, Miss Ackland, and I'm afraid I can't help you. School policy.
Oh, what a pity.
It's a very sensitive area. I'm sure you understand.
Yeah, of course. I was just admiring these drawings. You certainly have a few budding artists here.
Oh, yes, some are quite good.
You know, It's funny, when I was a kid, I always used to draw these quaint little cottages, you know, blue sky, smoke billowing out of the chimney. I suppose it was the kind of nice little home I wanted when I grew up. Out in the country, bluebells, all that.
Yes, well.
Now that kid knows what he wants.
Oh, Lewis.
Lewis?
Louis Boosie. Yes, he wants to be a racing driver.
No kidding. Well, thank you for your help, Miss Sparks, and I'm sorry to have troubled you when you're so busy. Thank you.
Miss Ackland.
Yes?
You did right.
Right.
Joining the police force.
Ah, yeah. Well, I forgot to mention, that little house I used to draw when I was a kid used to have a little blue and white police car parked in the driveway.
Where have you been?
Working.
You've been drinking.
Working.
I can smell it.
Check with the charge room if you don't believe me.
Tell me about it. If it's not too much trouble.
Just pick up the phone. You'll find I've nicked a little Italian with 300 counterfeit gold watches. And if it's all right with you, I'm going to go downstairs and sort it out.
Boosie. Name rings a bell. Here. Lucinda Boosie, 18 Buckhampton House.
We need a plan of the estate.
There's no Mr. Boosie, though. We're not registered anyway.
Well, perhaps he's doing a long one, guest of Her Majesty.
Yeah, check it out in LIO. If I remember rightly, we busted him. If it is him, I'll arrange for a search warrant and we do it first thing tomorrow, all right?
Yeah, OK.
The driver has 8 deliveries. The first one is on this side of the river.
Why am I sat here with you, Hopwood?
What are you talking about?
Why should the top man of an alleged upmarket security company be sitting here on a grotty industrial estate with a mere sergeant from the local Nick?
Because I want to see the job done correctly.
A job that you can't afford to go wrong.
I need to impress the parent company.
And if it does go wrong, you blame me. You never change, Hopwood. I can read you like a book.
And you're too cynical. Do you know that, Roach?
Is that the right way round? Yeah, must be, doesn't it? Yeah, must be it. Right. Whistle you up if I need you, Dave.
Right, Sarge.
Aren't you interested in why I chose you? Because you're a good thief catcher, Roach.
Oh, yeah? Don't give me that.
And I have plans for my business.
I was a good thief catcher 15 years ago, Hopwood. But you never noticed. Or you chose to ignore it.
Eventually, I want to go further up market. Offer my clients an international service. I plan to have offices in New York, Paris, Rome.
I'm impressed.
Well, so you should be. My company will be staffed mainly by former policemen and ex-military types. Men of experience, like yourself.
Are you offering me a job?
I will need a few good contacts.
So you want to put me in your pocket? You think you can arrange everything, don't you, Hopwood? You just flash a credit card and it's all there. Even a clear conscience.
What are you talking about?
I am talking about the suicide of an innocent man that you put away for murder. And that's a fact, Hopwood.
That's him, Louis!
You know the trouble with you, Roach? You're an idealist. A fatuous idealist. The hardest job I had with you was getting your head out of the clouds. You should learn something, Roach. People who spend their lives tilting at windmills end up by losing out.
Maybe they do, but they still sleep at night.
You think I can't?
Is that your man?
That's him, but not too soon. Don't let him have his head either.
Let's get one thing straight, Hopwood. I'm in charge here, not you.
Come on!
police, open the door. Mrs. Boosie, I have a warrant to search this flat. If you do not open the door, I will break it down. Thank you.
He takes this shortcut to the flyover, and his first delivery is about 3 miles on.
You want to bet?
Well, this is definitely not on his schedule. What are you doing?
He's not going anywhere, unless it's for a swim.
What do you mean?
Check the location. It's a dead end. I'll be back shortly.
I suggest we get some assistance. Roach! Damn him.
This is a drugs warrant signed by a magistrate. That's your copy.
There's no drugs in this flat.
There has been in the past.
Nothing to do with me.
The fellow you used to live with was a bit naughty where drugs were concerned.
He's paying the price, isn't he?
Can we have a look around?
Do I have a choice?
No.
Can we get this over as quickly as possible? I've got work to do.
Do you work, Mrs. Boosie? Outside work?
I clean at the old people's home in Fanshawe Road.
Can't be easy bringing up a kid on your own.
I'll get by.
Your fella?
Yes?
Pushing heroin on the estate, wasn't it?
He was tried and found guilty, if that's what you mean. But then you already know that.
Who's taking his place?
I don't know what you mean.
Come on, someone must have stepped into his shoes.
Those are personal.
Nothing's personal when it comes to drugs.
They've already been read by prison officers. You must really enjoy your job.
It has its rewards.
Finished?
Just about.
I've got a lunchbox back at the station.
Satisfied?
Belonging to you.
Not entirely.
Oh, yes, it does. It belongs to you.
What about the people you used to knock about with?
I don't know what you're talking about. I keep myself by myself.
The state drug pushes Avon, and you know.
Who told you there were drugs in here?
Information received.
That's what you people always say.
Finished?
Sure you don't want to take up the floorboards?
If you had any floorboards, we wouldn't have hesitated.
Then please leave and let's get on with our life. Okay?
Why do they always keep books, eh?
Old habits die hard.
I don't suppose you'd believe me if I say they weren't mine.
You're not obliged to say anything unless you wish to do so.
What do you mean assistance? Where's Ted? Yes, I know where you are. Where's Ted? Mike Dashwood. Yeah, I want you to send a couple of cars to Driver's Wharf.
What do you think you're doing, mate?
Oh, easy, boy. Easy, boy.
Penny, we got a trespasser!
No, you're making a mistake.
Right, so we're going.
If Hopwood hadn't phoned for assistance, you'd be a candidate for intensive care. You owe the man a lot, Ted.
If you believe that, you'll believe anything.
Oh, come off it, Ted. The man got you out of a mess.
Who are you kidding?
He's protecting his own interests. He doesn't give a damn about me, about you, about anybody. Believe me, I know the man better than any of you.
You're an ungrateful bastard. Do you know that, Ted? Anyway, if you'd had a transfer to the fraud squad, Michael, you'd have missed all this excitement.
You reckon, Gov?
You'd have been sitting in a lonely little office surrounded by mountains of paperwork, wouldn't he, Ted?
You are joking.
Excuse me.
It's the least I could do.
Well, that is very civil of you, Harry. Thank you. Ted, you got some glasses in your drawer?
Aren't you having one?
I'm particular who I drink with.